We are starting our webinar. This is our very first webinar given by our company, and welcome. I believe everybody can see me properly and hear me, and I'm going to switch to my camera, but I think, yeah. In any case, you can see me properly over here. And let me introduce myself. Those who do not know me, my name is Anastasia, and I have joined NetHunt CRM company over 2 years ago as a success manager, and right now I'm running the success team, the whole department. And when I joined the company, and meanwhile working here, I've been a part of the development team of the whole team, and we are working closely together in order to deliver a great product, a CRM to our users, and we collect all of the feedback. And so we are working together with everyone to make sure that our company is making it is like producing a lot of benefits to the clients. So NetHunt CRM is a Gmail-based CRM that was founded back in 2014 with the intentions to bring to unite all of the tools that you daily use for your work in one tool, and to make sure that you are growing as a business. So I'm going to share with you our agenda, today's agenda, and I will be covering the following topics. So the very first one, we are going to cover the pain points of using the Excel or spreadsheets that you currently are, and probably that you're stuck in this process. Another thing that we're going to be talking about is the importance of CRM and how it will impact the company's growth. Another part, the third point, is going to be a very practical, because I'm going to show you on NetHunt CRM basis the examples of how you can actually shift from the spreadsheets to a CRM smoothly. Another thing I'm going to be talking about is mentioning the advanced features of the CRM, so you will be aware of how it can improve your your workflow. And of course, we will finish up with a Q&A session where you will be able to ask me anything, the webinar related, the product related, and maybe just to make sure that you understand everything properly. Okay. So since you've joined this webinar, I guess you are curious on the whole process of how to make sure that you can switch from the spreadsheets smoothly. And I assume that currently you are running a few spreadsheets in your company, because all you need to know is, like, you have one spreadsheet for contacts and leads, another spreadsheet for existing clients, then you have maybe a few more spreadsheets with the revenue, with all the income that you get, probably running a few spreadsheets with the information of your personal tasks and like Teams KPIs. And of course, probably you need to input some formulas in the very last one, spreadsheet, to summarize all of these ones. So probably if you have all of these rows and spreadsheets, you need to know more on how to switch. And I think there are different signs showing that you're stuck. And I've compiled a list of them, and you can follow them through. So the very first one is that you are stuck spending more time on administrative tasks than on selling itself. And it may sound okay at the very beginning. Maybe you don't really notice how you're scrolling down the endless rows, but then the statistics shows that we research that all of your team, or maybe you yourself, spend 64% on non-selling tasks, and then maybe you forget to follow up on your client and you lose the deal. Another thing is that you are losing leads and data due to human errors. Again, everything, like we cannot rely on software itself, never, even with the best one. However, when we are in a spreadsheet and we are in a hurry and we need to input different information and we're working with a team, so most properly, probably, you input some incorrect data, and then you need to deal with it or update something. Again, spending a lot of time on it. Another thing is that sales reps from your team are trying to reach out the same customer. And since you're not syncing anything together, you cannot read each other's emails, or you do not take like another cell in your spreadsheet, and then you're trying to send the same pitch. And once the client receives this, they probably think that your company is a mess and you don't really talk to each other. Another thing is that it is very hard to evaluate where everything stands. And maybe you see that your sales rep hits the quota and they win the deal, it's great. But when they lose it, you don't really track the history, what was going on, whether they had the conversation or not. So it's really hard to show the proof and ask for the testimony, you know. Another thing, you're not syncing all of the data with the tools that you use on a daily basis, such as like calendar, hangouts, calling software, and your email. It is all scattered around the softwares that you're using, but it's not syncing in one hub. So probably if you made this far, you understand that we're talking today about the software that can help you out, and it exists. This is the software called CRM, or Client Relationship Management System, and it helps you to unify all of the data, client, deal, prospect, project related in one hub, and make sure that you establish the great team collaboration and nobody is losing touch with any of your clients and they hit the quota and everything is going smoothly. Right now, all of the modern businesses, they actually start relying more on the cloud-based CRMs. And cloud-based CRM means that the software is based in the internet and can be accessed from anywhere in the world, any corner, and at any time. It is synchronized and everybody can see the updates. And the same concerns the Gmail-based CRMs, such as NetHunt and others. And a Gmail-based CRM is also a cloud-based one. And let's talk about the benefits of the Gmail-based CRM. The very first one that comes to your mind is that it allows you the smooth integration with Google Apps. Not only your email, where the CRM lives, but also all of the Google applications that are, you know, ecosystem related, such as Calendar, Google Drive, Hangouts, Google Voice, anything. The second one is the access to customer data is going through your mailbox. So you receive an email and you understand who's emailing you. Use no more faceless emails. You have the data at hand next to your email that you receive, or a thread. Then you can use one tool for sending mass emails. Probably you're using mail merge systems at the moment, such as like Gmail or MailChimp. There are so many of them. And you're spending money on the software, of course. But if we're talking about the Gmail-based CRM, it will cover the expense and will eliminate the necessity to use the second software, third-party software. Another thing is easy team collaboration. Again, everything is in cloud, everything is synced, and all the communication is linked. So you cannot erase the history. So all of the managers are now responsible for their actions. And of course, you can evaluate their efforts. And of course, what we have, prompt follow-ups set up. So you never forget to talk to your clients, to follow up on the progress, and or just to ask hi, like say hi and like what's going on? Are you gonna buy or not? Anyway, right now, as I promised in our agenda, we're going to move to the most practical part of our webinar, is how to actually shift from your spreadsheets to a CRM. And again, I'm going to be showing you all of the steps. The very first one, as you can see, is that you need to gather all of the data from all of your spreadsheets together and make it standardized. So I'm going to share my other screen where you're gonna see here my screen with my spreadsheet. You can see it properly. So you can see that this is the spreadsheet containing the information about the clients, companies that I personally deal with, let's say. Yeah, this is sample data. And it can look the same for you. You've collected the data about your clients, such as name of the company, status, the manager responsible for them, industry, email, and so on and so forth. What I mean about standardizing your data, due to human errors, and you can input data in different formats, such as date, as I highlighted in yellow. So I have the date column, it's called registered. So for me, in my case, it is the date when the client first registered with my product, and I need to understand when they first started using it. For you, maybe it will be the date of the first purchase or the date of first reach out. In any case, if it is not standardized and you're trying to move to a software, you need to clean your data. And you can do it manually, but let's assume that you have thousands of leads, and so it will take you ages to do that. We have a few tips for you. You can use a few softwares that will standardize your data and make it easy to migrate into a CRM. One of them is called Google Refine. It's a Google product, and you can use it for free. No worries, you are going to be receiving a follow-up email from me to try it out with all of the links. But after all of the magic with cleaning up your data is done, and you can see that my yellow column is now standardized to one format and can be migrated. After all of this is done, you need to save the spreadsheet in a CSV format. And so what we're doing, I'm clicking here on the file and choose to download it in CSV format. I download my file and I'm all ready to move it to NetHunt. So this is how NetHunt actually looks like. I'm here in my inbox, here's my Gmail, and here's my CRM environment. So I'm going to migrate my clients, the companies, here, import from a CSV file. Let me drag and drop it and wait for the data analyzing. After this, we're going to map all of the cells to the folder that we're going to move our data to. Oh yeah, okay, we are seeing the progress. Okay, interesting, thankfully. Okay guys, so what we're doing right now, we are going to move our data into the folder in NetHunt. And I'm going to rename the new folder into the companies one. And then the next important thing is just to make sure that all of the fields from your spreadsheet are mapped correctly with NetHunt. And the very interesting one is email. The email needs to be converted into the person format in NetHunt. Then you go over all of them and make sure that everything is fine. After that, you start your import. And then within a few seconds, hopefully, yeah, the import is successful, and you go to the folder that with the data you just imported, and what you see your spreadsheet being successfully converted into the entries, entries in NetHunt, the records. So right now, what you see here, and here's my Google company with all of the data, is right now placed over here in the folder. And when I click on my Google company, I can see their data here transferred. And I can also edit this application, oh, sorry, not application, edit these fields very fast in the settings, and add more fields when you need it, when you start customizing the system. After that, what I need to make sure is that since we work with Gmail and we allow keeping the communication at one place, so we need to make sure that the emails from your clients are linked to their entries. And with this option to link all of the future communication with your clients, we need to make sure it is activated. So I activate this. And right now what we're going to do with you is we're going to see how the magic of linking works. I'm going to email Google. I'm going to send them an email, a test one. So yeah, it's a test email sample. So they don't really receive anything from me. They're not flooded. And okay, so we sent a message, and just to speed up the process, I'm going to restart my Gmail. And what you see right now, you can see that the email has been linked, and it will happen to all of the emails from you, from all of your team members to this email address in the email field. And then it will be actually very great to see all the history of communication. After that, since we are in Google ecosystem, we assume that you deal with your Google contacts a lot. And we allow you to sync all of the Google contacts that you've compiled for years with NetHunt contacts. Not only from spreadsheets, you can collect your data, but also from here. So you click in the settings to start your Google sync. And right now I will see all of my 9 contacts synced with NetHunt contacts folder over here. And I go to my folder and I see that all of the contacts, they've been transferred successfully. So Andrew right now, Andrew Cooper, all of the data that I had with him is successfully here. Not only you can migrate all of the data from your Google contacts, but what you actually can do with your data. Very simple. With the companies that you migrated, you can not only see the like a list view as you do over here, but also you can play around with your companies. I can briefly see what manager deals with what company, and I can save this view for later, my test one. And as you were dealing with spreadsheets where you opened your file, with NetHunt, not only you will go to the list view, but you will save the quick access to the managers, and then it will be right instant on the right sidebar. In any case, so I think the one thing that is time consuming is to make sure that the data is standardized, right? But now you have the tips how to make it happen very easy and fast for you, and then migrating it within a few seconds into NetHunt. So now we're going back to our presentation, and I'm going to mention a few things regarding the advanced CRM features as I mentioned in our agenda. So the very first one is the effective team collaboration. It means that you, again, eliminate the risk of the duplicated records, the duplicated data in different spreadsheets, because it's time consuming, right? Another thing is that you do not lose any prospects. Since you're syncing all of the communication and all of your team is united and have the shared access to your hub, you make sure that everybody is happy. Because just imagine that one of your coworkers is on a sick leave or on vacation, and yes, we do set the autoresponders that in case of emergency, please contact someone else. But maybe your client is busy or lazy, and they are not emailing anyone else. But me as a team lead or me as just a sales rep, I can check all of the pipelines of all of my team members, and make sure that none of the emails are left non-responded to. Maybe I need to push a sale or send a PO or an invoice, or just to say, hi, you're fine, blah, 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 and, you know, and to make the appearance. Another thing is that the CRM system allows you to unite different departments together. If we're taking marketing and sales, so they're closely working with the leads, with the clients, and there is a great opportunity to map out the customer journey. So then you see clearly what efforts have been made. And you can see that how the marketing team works, what channels, like lead sources, right? They work the best, and they require more money just to be spent on, because it's, you know, lucrative. It's bringing you more good leads. What lead sources need to be forgotten? Also, you can see what are the techniques and what's working on your clients. Because again, as you saw in the entry, all of history is kept. Another thing, the third part, is actually the personalization, because you've heard that the client is the king, and like million times. And right now, since we live in a hectic world, it's very competitive, right? To hunt for the clients, but you just need to relax and just to make sure that everybody gets the response on time, and that they're mostly, you know, personalized, and you build up the relationship with your client. And when they receive an email like, yeah, do you remember we've talked about that, you know, they understand that, okay, he's just not a provider that, you know, responding to a ticket. Because you see, there's like a statistic that 41% of clients churn because of poor personalization, and we do not want it happening. Because again, when you unite different departments, sales, customer success, support, and they need to, everybody from your company, deal with them, with the clients. Different people from your team, they maybe are not aware of what was happening before they, you know, entered the game. Then the very last one, and I think one of the most important, is to keep your data safe. So regarding the security, when you're living in the spreadsheets, then it is very easy for sales rep just to steal the information and leave the company, copy and paste to another spreadsheet. With the CRMs, you as a manager, you decide what permissions to share, and then you just need, you can, you know, sleep in peace that all of the data will stay with you and another person will take it over. I think right now we've covered plenty of points for this webinar, and we are all ready to go to a Q&A session where you will be able to ask your question in the chat box, as I mentioned, where you were texting me where you're guys from. What we have, oh, we already have a few questions. I have different ones. Okay, gracias, Anastasia. Oh, Nico. Thank you so much. Oh, de nada. I guess this is correct. Anastasia, it was very interesting. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. I have two questions for you. First, how many contacts should be in your spreadsheets to start thinking about moving to CRMs? And second, how do you think, what is a fair price for CRM for sales team of 8 people? Okay, let me talk about the very first one, about how big should be your spreadsheet. So when you have more than 15 rows in your spreadsheet, then I think you need to start thinking about moving it to a hub. Plus, you're talking about 8 people. So just imagine that I assume that your business is growing fast and fast, and you will have more hires. And then you hire them, and then you need to deliver different trainings, and you have many spreadsheets. And then again, you need to make sure that everything is synced. For that, I think the main point for you is just to make sure that you engage everybody and onboard in a one hub that is shared together. Another, I think, guys, if you have more questions regarding other questions, you can always put them. Another question is from, hello, Anastasia, thank you for a great presentation. Will it help with the onboarding of my team? For sure. One of the main things that NetHunt CRM provides is the great support. And when you sign up for a trial, which is 14 days with no limitations and unlimited training, so we provide different trainings for all of your team, and we need to hear, of course, what you guys do. And we actually consult how you can manage your business in NetHunt, because the system is pretty flexible, and for some it may be, you know, frightening that maybe somebody will be just forgetting to use the system. It will be not relevant for us, but no, we will make sure that it will be very useful and helpful. And you can request a demo, and we will be talking and walking you through the system and the process of migration. Oh, Nico, thank you for the smile. Another question is, will I be able to link my previous letters before I installed CRM? Yeah, this is for sure. You can link your previous emails, the historical ones. So we allow, as you saw, linking the future emails, but also you can decide what emails should be linked from your previous communications to all of your clients. Another one is about, thanks for the presentation. Thank you. I've got one question. Which integrations do you currently support? Okay, so we support the integrations with, if we're talking about Google ecosystem, it is emailing, it is Google Drive, and not only Google Drive, but also shared drives. So shared drives is supported in the paid G Suite subscriptions, and it is a lot better for those, for for big teams, because you can share the file and you do not need to give the permissions to others. Another thing, Google Contacts and Google Calendar. So talking about that, if we're talking about other software that you're probably using, such as Slack or maybe different forms on your websites, you can also integrate it either via API. If you have developers inside, it will be very easy, or using a software called Zapier. I will be sending you the link with the Zapier platform, because this one supports over 1,000 of tools that can be integrated with each other. Maybe you can specify what software you are using, so then we can talk more about it. Another question, let me scroll down. Oh, can I integrate CRM with social media? We have lots of clients from Facebook messages. Okay, with Facebook, there are a few integrations supported with Zapier that I mentioned, and we can also set it up together. But the thing is that you need to know is that Facebook itself has actually very limited API. So sometimes it is not available to have like super custom integrations. So they're pretty, closed to the world, not only for NetHunt, but for everybody. But Zapier, again, they support a few integrations, and you can link your messages and your leads coming from Facebook. Okay. Okay, I think, let me just make sure that I've answered all of the questions, because you guys are, you've sent me a few. Which integrations? Okay, the onboarding, amazing. Okay, guys, so I do not see any new coming messages, but if you have questions, I think we'll give it 2 more minutes, but just make sure that you just reach out to me if you have more after this webinar. And you can also schedule the demo with one of our managers. Talk to us more closely. Okay, yeah, good. Okay. Another question. Will you send the recording? Right, correct. This webinar is being recorded, and you will receive a follow-up email with a recording, with different tips, with different links, with a coupon bonus. Right, so all of the necessary. If I forget something, which is unlikely, you can hit me up and ask me for some more information. Yeah, so we'll be answering. Okay. Okay, so if no more questions, we will be wrapping up and you are ready to go either to work if it is super early for you, or go peacefully just to bed, which I will do very soon. In any case, thank you so much for joining, and we will talk to you soon. Stay tuned for our future webinars. Okay, bye-bye.